Are you in a relationship right now and you wonder if the person really loves you? Maybe you are in a relationship and you want to know how much the person loves you before you commit yourself to them. Or maybe you are wondering what you need to do to make your significant other feel loved. This episode is for you. We are going to tell you how to gauge love, how to measure love in any relationship.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mike and Christelle podcast, where family meets faith and fun. A big thank you to all who have been sharing our content. If you haven't done so, remember to subscribe and follow Mike and Christelle on Instagram and Facebook.
It may be hard to define love, but we have come up with one word, only one word to define it. Only one word to help you understand what is love. If you get it right, you will know if love is still present in your marriage or in your relationship with the person you are dating. If you get that one thing right, you will know if your love is still growing or not. If you are dating someone, we are going to give you some tips to how to detect love so that you can make a very informed decision before you commit or before you marry the person. So if you want to know how much love there is in any relationship or in your relationship, just consider this one thing. Sacrifice. Yeah. Sacrifice. How much sacrifice you see in your relationship. It all comes down to sacrifice.
True love is reflected through sacrifice.
Yes.
How much are you ready to sacrifice for the person you claim to love? Mm-hmm. And how far is the person you claim to love willing to go for your happiness? Yeah. It takes sacrifice to make someone feel loved. Yeah. Even God showed us his love through sacrifice. Yeah. He loved, then he gave. God loved, then he gave. Yeah.
Some of you have read the book 5 Love Languages.
Good book.
My wife and I read it. Many people have read the book. It's quite a popular book. Maybe you haven't read it. So we'll put the link in the description just so that you can have a look at it. Maybe you've heard of it. You haven't read it, but you have heard of it. Yeah. It is very, very beneficial. But knowing the 5 love languages, it's one thing. But it doesn't work until there is sacrifice behind it. Act of service. Quality time, gift, touch, or word of affirmation. All those things don't work until someone sacrifices behind them, until someone really acts upon them. Yeah. And when you act upon them, that means you are sacrificing something. You must actually forget about yourself. You must learn to speak to your spouse's love languages.
For it to work,
for it to work, even if you're not comfortable with it. You may not be comfortable with touching people. You may be not comfortable to give word of affirmation. You may be not comfortable to do, but you need to sacrifice in order to speak your spouse love languages. So knowing your friend or your significant others love languages is one thing, but paying attention and speaking their love language is a completely different thing. It requires sacrifice. Knowing that your spouse needs something is one thing, but really making the sacrifice to deliver it, it's crucial.
Yeah. So we have this healthy argument that we have between us.
Yes.
And we
healthy
say
competition.
Healthy
and I
argument.
always win.
And I always win.
Voila.
That's
the actual competition.
So the argument is always, I love you more than you love me.
No. The argument is I love her more than she loves me.
I always him more than he loves me.
It always comes out that I love her more than she does love me. She loves me. So, guys.
It's one thing to say that, though. It's one thing to say.
Guys, before she continues, I just want you to know that I always win every time in that argument that I love her more than she loves me. Don't listen to any other person.
I'm winning.
Yes.
So it's one thing to say it, but it's another one it's one thing to prove it, yes. Which I do very well.
No, it's one thing to say it. It's one thing to argue that you love me more than I love you. It's another thing to prove it.
Yeah.
So I always prove it. I always come up with these things to prove that I love her more than she does love me. Yeah.
So, guys, that's how we live. We live in a healthy competition of who loves the other than
more than the other.
More than the other.
The question is not saying it. The question is proving it by sacrifice.
Yeah,
So you need to prove by. Now the competition between us is not who says it more. The competition is who sacrifices more.
That's good. Yeah.
So who goes beyond or extreme,
beyond and above
to sacrifice for the other. And it seems like I always go beyond. It seems like more. If she goes 1 meter, I go 2. If she goes 1 kilometer, I go 2 kilometers. It's always the case. No, she really does well. So
we're kidding, guys, but we
sacrifice.
Do well.
It comes back to sacrifice. It doesn't matter if you say 100 times you love me. I will always check how much sacrifices you are willing to take for me. That's the point we are trying to make here. It doesn't matter how many times I tell my wife I love you if I don't pay the price to prove it. If I don't sacrifice for her,
we should do well.
Then it's just a waste of word.
Yeah.
So we are not saying that expressing love is bad by your word. You can say it, but you have also to prove it. It has to be proven through sacrifice. So there are 3 things that we need to check to gauge love, or 3 things that we want to suggest to you how to gauge love in a relationship. And the first one
is continuous sacrifice. The problem with some people is that they start well, and they say all these nice words.
Yes, when they're falling in love with each other.
They give all these gifts. They travel from country to country to find love.
Yeah.
Then after
they
found it.
They get it.
They get it. And then all the sacrifices stop.
Yes.
I wonder why that happened. The reason why the person loved you is because you made all these promises, you made all these sacrifices. So why stop?
Yes.
Why stop? The reason why the person will continue loving you is through sacrifice.
When my wife and I were dating, like 18 years ago, I was saying words like, you mean the world to me. I'm ready to die for you. Oh, babe, like you are everything to me. Things like, I can do anything for you. When you're falling in love, you say all these things, I don't even if people think when they're saying those words. And to be honest, those words, they help to win someone. So you say all these words, you promise all these things, and the person loves you, and falling in love is beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing, and then you fall in love.
Yeah.
And you forget that those words will be tested.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years later, those same words you say you mean the world to me,
they're gonna be tested.
They'll be tested. And then now every time my wife asks me to do something, I remember I said she means the world to me.
Yeah.
I have to do it because if she tells me, for example, be at home at 7 today, you have to be home at 7 because we have to have dinner together or something. I have to be home at 7 because she means the world to me. I have to do it. Everything she asks me to do, I need to remind myself, I promised her that she means the world and I'm ready to die for her. That's what I said. Those are the kind of words that boys, when you are 17, 20 something, you say all these things. Not only boys, even girls, we say, we girls even say those things. Yeah. But we need to remember, saying all those words is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But when the person asks you to do something for them, remember you said they mean the world. Remember you said you are ready for anything. Are you ready to sacrifice your comfort, to sacrifice anything to make them feel like a priority? Are you ready to sacrifice your job? Are you ready to sacrifice your business? Anything you have built for the person you are loving? Let me put this clear. The person you are in love with, They want you to succeed. They don't want you to lose your job.
Yeah.
They don't want you to destroy your business.
No, they don't.
But they want to feel like they mean everything above your business. They want to feel like they come before your work. They come before your business, before your promotion, before your bank account. They want to feel it.
Yeah.
So they will unknowingly be testing you. You are in the middle of a meeting, you see a message. If you don't reply, they feel like your work comes first. But if you put them first, you will just reply to them, oh, sorry, babe, I'm in a meeting, I will call you back. And when you finish the meeting, you really call them. So they know that they matter to you. The mistake we make is we make the person in our lives, the person you love, feel like your job comes first. And I'm a pastor.
Not a good thing.
I'm a pastor. I will tell you, most pastors make a mistake of making their family feels like the family comes after the church, ministry, after the church, which is wrong. As a leader, as a businessman, as anything, you need to make the person in your life, your significant other, feel that they mean everything.
And you've done this well, Bear. You've done this well. He promised me he was going to open the door for me, the car door for me every time. And I'm telling you, he's still doing that now.
Yes.
Which is
Thank you.
18 years after.
Thank you.
Well
Another
done.
kiss? I get kisses today, guys. You know, my wife was being chased by many men. Like I was selected among 126 men who were after my wife. She chose me like I was the more blessed, the more handsome. You know, every day.
You have lipstick. I put some lipstick.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
No,
Every day.
It's not okay.
Every day, lipstick is good. More coming from your wife. Knowing that my wife, to be honest, she loved me when I did not have anything. She loved me when I did not have any bank account. She loved me when I had nothing. She loved me despite any like there were men who were chasing her and she said no to them. That sacrifice, every time I see that, I remember that I need to value this girl. I need to value this girl. She has made sacrifices for me. So sacrifice is everything in love. If there is sacrifice, there is love.
Yeah. We should make efforts to change.
Yeah.
Not because it feels good, but because we are required to sacrifice continuously. What is it that your spouse has been expecting from you, but you have failed to deliver?
Yes. It is really important to continuously sacrifice.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't
Remember
stop.
your promises and your word when you started.
Yes.
Would you continue to make sacrifices?
Please do. And the second one is increasing sacrifice.
Say that again. Increasing sacrifice.
So sacrifice that is growing.
Yeah.
It's not the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
If love is nourished, it grows. If you want your love to grow, you should increase your sacrifice.
Yes. In life can be sometimes demanding.
Yeah.
Work and other things, kids and other things that come in life. Life can be demanding. And you can find yourself really busy to the point where you don't have time to give any attention to your loved ones or your spouse or the person you are dating. That's where you should remember to increase your sacrifice.
Yeah.
The more demand, the more pressure you get from life, the more you should increase sacrifice to still speak love.
And that is very painful.
It is painful.
It is painful.
Sacrifice in itself is painful, but it's what you sacrifice for that matters. Yeah. Sacrifice, every sacrifice.
The secret here is don't think about the sacrifice, but think about the person you're sacrificing for.
Yes.
So not thinking about the sacrifice, but think about the person, the why. It's like the why, you are doing that sacrifice.
Yes. There is a guy who, my wife told me a story of a guy who, we don't know if it's true, but we'll just share this with you.
Well, yeah. It's pretty...
we think it's true. The wife asked him, but you don't tell me that you love me anymore these days. Why don't you say that you love me? I want to hear that you love me. I want you to say it to me. And the guy said, I told you when we got married that I love you. I haven't changed my mind. When I change my mind, I will let you know. That's a problem with people who think that, okay,
bad.
I did it 20 years ago. When I change my mind, I will tell you. That's not okay. That's not okay. You have to increase to your expression of love. If you said it 20 years ago, if you used to say once a day, I love you, you should increase to twice per day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. Your expression of love should be growing, should be increasing.
You've lived with that person long enough to know them.
Yes.
So that means you're able to increase your sacrifice even more. You know what they like. You know their love language. You should know their love languages and be willing to sacrifice. You've been doing it for a long time. You should
increase your gift. If you are giving 1 gift per week or 1 gift per whatever, increase your gift. If you are bringing 1 flower per week, begin to bring maybe 2, whatever. I add some chocolate on top of it. Whatever you want, you increase anything you are doing to show love. Increase it. For example, if it's service, increase act of services. Do everything you do increasingly. Don't just stay stagnant. If it's a word of affirmation, add more. Keep saying it. Send messages. Send an email in the middle of the day. Send a message in the middle of the day. If you used to send only 1 message, start sending 2 per day, or 3 or 4 or 10. Keep your love increasing, growing. Increase your sacrifice. That is really important to grow in your love. It's really important.
You have to remember. Sorry to cut you a bit, but you have to remember that love is felt. So
it is felt.
The person you are, your spouse will feel loved. You have to make them feel loved. So you might be saying it all the time, but you have to make them feel it. You understand? And that, of course, saying it is a good thing, but you have to say it and act upon it so that they can feel that you love them.
That's very true. Stagnant sacrifices breed stagnant love. If you are at the same level always of sacrifice, that means you will create a stagnant love. But increasing sacrifices will breed, will create, will generate increasing love in a relationship. So do more, say more, think more, sacrifice increasingly.
You can do it. Be intentional. You can do it. Be intentional.
What is it that you have been doing to express your love in your relationship? Would you increase it? Would you increase its frequency? Would you increase the budget? Would you increase the time? Would you increase your sacrifice?
The third one is unconditional sacrifice. I'm going to say that again. Unconditional sacrifice. There is an illustration of chicken love that explains better what it means to love unconditionally. Most people claim or say that they love chicken. But the truth is, they don't. They love how chicken makes them feel. They love how chicken tastes. If they really love chicken, they shouldn't kill chicken. In first place.
Out of love, you don't kill someone else. You shouldn't kill chicken because you love chicken.
Most people are in a relationship with chicken love. They love how the other person makes them feel. They enjoy their company. They love the gift. They love the service they receive from the person. And some people get married to a person because of the way the person makes them feel.
True love thinks the best, plans the best, and acts for the best of its object. So if you really love the person, let me take it back. If you really love a chicken, you should think the best for the chicken, you should plan the best for chicken, and you should act for the best of the chicken. So eating a chicken is not out of love. You don't love the chicken because it has to be killed before you eat it. You get to the point we are trying to make here. The point we are trying to make here is most people go into a relationship with the love chicken because of the way the person makes them feel. So if you are in a relationship for you, something is wrong. Something is wrong. If you go in a relationship for the way you feel. For example, Jesus loved us.
Yeah.
Jesus loves us. He thought the best for us.
Yeah.
He planned the best for us and acted for our best.
Yeah.
On our best interest.
Yeah.
That is love.
Yeah.
That is love. If you are in a relationship because of what you are getting from the person, then you are the problem. You are the problem, not the other person. Because when you don't get what the person offers,
something is
you will change.
gonna go wrong. You will change. Yeah.
Because you went into the relationship because of what they deliver. If you are in a relationship because of how the person makes you feel, then you may be the wrong person to that person. It doesn't matter how they make you laugh, how they make you feel. If that's why you are still there, you may be the problem. Maybe you are not the right person for that person. Or if you're in a relationship with someone who does not sacrifice for you, you are in a wrong relationship. We are sorry to say this because it's true. If you are not getting sacrifice from the other person, there is a problem.
However, if you are in a relationship ready to sacrifice for the person you claim to love, you are Mr. or Mrs. Right.
Mr. Right.
If you are in a relationship sacrificing unconditionally, then you are the hero. If you are in a relationship with a person who sacrifices unconditionally, then you are loved and you are in the right relationship.
Yes. If you are dating someone and you want to know if he or she is the right person, just check how much they are ready to sacrifice for you.
Yeah.
This is it. Just check how much they are ready to sacrifice for you. But we want to give you a warning. You don't need to demand sacrifice.
Yeah.
If you demand sacrifice, it becomes abuse, it becomes harassment. So you can't go and say, okay, we heard that without sacrifice there is no love.
Yeah.
You have to start sacrificing for me.
That's not going to be authentic. That's going to, eventually, that's not going to work.
That will backlash.
They won't be able to do that for a long time.
Sacrifice should be voluntarily. It should be something that the person gives to you because they love you. And that's why we say it is the only sign of love.
Yeah.
It has to be voluntary. It has to be something you receive from the person without asking for it. If you demand sacrifice, and the person gives to you, that's not a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a healthy relationship where you demand sacrifice. Sacrifice should be given freely, and that's when you know you are really loved.
Yeah, sacrifice.
We gave you 3 ways to check relationship, and that is the first one, continuous sacrifice. The second one, increasing sacrifice. And the third one, unconditional sacrifice. If you have these 3 in a relationship, you are in the right place.
Yeah.
If not, work on it. Work on it. Otherwise, things are not good.
That's the good thing about it. You can work on it.
Things can change.
Yeah.
And maybe after listening to us, you can start working on your relationship now. You can change the attitude of your heart.
Please
maybe you've been in a relationship for you with the chicken love. Now you can change and begin to sacrifice. Yeah.
Question of the day. What should you do if you find yourself in a relationship where there is no reciprocity of sacrifice?
Yes, give us your comments below. We would love to know what you think about this. So thank you very much for listening to us. We want you to remember that when family is healthy,
the nation is healthy.
So see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.